Hi everyone, I'm Sean, and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. I have seen people post videos of them working on their books, but half the time you can't even see what they're writing and they don't explain what they're doing or anything. So what I thought I would do is I am halfway into editing this book. I know that's the back of the book because the cover is just temporary, but it's book 2 of the Samuel Creed series. The first book is right there, Keeping Creed. So this will be book 2, and I'm editing it right now. So I thought what I would do is I would go through the book showing you guys the edits I'm making and explain some of why I am making these changes. First, a little bit about my writing process. I usually write 7 drafts of each book. The first draft is just writing, just getting all my ideas out onto the page. I don't read or reread as I write. I don't edit as I write. I just write. And then on the second draft, that is where I look at the book I wrote. I think about where I want to go with it moving forward, and usually I may do a rewrite then on the second draft. The third draft is just kind of making sure everything fits together. After the third draft, what I do is I order a copy of the book, just like this, and I will edit the book itself with a red pen. Part of why I do this is after 3 drafts of writing a book on the computer, my eyes kind of become blind to any kind of mistakes in the book. So when I order a copy like this, I'm able to see the book with fresh eyes, and I can notice a lot more problems with the book, both with the writing and the storytelling, and it's really helpful for me. And then I edit the book with a red pen, and I make the changes into the computer based on that, and then I order another copy for another draft. So I'll do 7 drafts. The first 3 on the computer, and then about 4 editing the book itself with a red pen. So what I have here is actually the first, I call it the red pen draft, so it's the 4th draft of this book. So this book is not by any means perfect, which book is, especially of mine. But you can see some of the changes I'm making, and I'll go through about why I am making these changes. First off, I have to warn you, there may be the occasional swear word in this book, so do be aware of that. One of the main things that factor into my decisions to make changes to a book are whether it advances plot or character. If it does not do that, it tends to get cut. Also, I am looking to be more economical with words. If a sentence works perfectly well, just the same without a word, then generally it should be cut. So we just start out. This is the second book in the Samuel Creed series. The books are intended to be read in order. As each one, I cut 1 because it's just an unnecessary word. Anyway, while Sam was doing all his male swashbuckling hero stuff, cut all because it's just an unnecessary word. This right here is a chapter from Tessa, who is one of the main characters. Basic book etiquette. All this being said, personally, I never use bookmarks. I cut personally because I thought it was an unnecessary word because it's already written in first-person perspective. So I didn't really need personally there. Here Tessa is talking about her apartment she lives in. So she says cost of living in DC is insane. She says to be pretty poor but still have a nice place in DC. I cut in DC because right there we already established that she lives in Washington DC. So there's no reason for that to be there. Again, it's just an unnecessary word. Still with Tessa, my library was burned to the ground. I don't know a thing about who that con guy was. It's just unnecessary. See, the sentence reads the exact same without it. I don't know who that con guy was. Versus, I don't know a thing about who that con guy was. It's the exact same thing, but you just take it out and the sentence works the exact same without it. So that tells me it should be cut. I should say here that one of the changes I'm making to the book is the margins. The margins, I don't know exactly what happened, but I think the margins here are 1 inch. And I didn't like that. I like the margins to be about 1/2 inch to come out to about there. So that's one of the changes I made to the book already. And right away, it cut the word count of the whole book down by 20 pages just by moving the margins over. I still like the top margins like this, a little bit of gap between the page number and the chapter and all that. And also the bottom, I think I moved the bottom margin down a bit. So I think 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, and then up here is just a full inch, I think. But book margins, that's one of the things indie or self-published authors need to think about. They walked side by side toward the building. Well, yeah, I don't need to say side by side. That's unnecessary, so I got rid of it. Something I'm very conscious about is I do not like reading a lot of names in books. And I don't mean just a lot of characters. I mean specifically repeating character names. So something I try to do is change names as much as possible to he and she. You can actually see right here in the front of the book, I wrote down how many times each name appears in the book. So when it's all done and edited, I see how many or how few instances I could get them down to. So right there, I got rid of a he. Staring intently. Well, I don't really need intently, it's just staring. Got rid of another Creed, replaced it with he. Down here I just said a grip was firm instead of solid. It just sounded weird saying a solid grip. I think it'd be a firm grip. Changed a rose to a she. There's another one, there's a he. Got rid of a he there. Right here it's a running joke between them for him to deliberately mess up animated Disney films. Well, I thought I didn't really need animated right there, so it just says Disney films. Switching chapters, we go over to Tessa. She turned her head slightly. Well, that's just an unnecessary word, so I got rid of it. With winter on the way, however, she blah 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 blah. However, it just seemed to be kind of slowing the sentence down, and it didn't add anything, so I cut it. Much the same here. There, their paths diverged briefly with Tessa going on. Unnecessary word, I thought. This is a pretty minor change, but it says in dialogue here, it's time I'm ready. She's talking about having kids. Right there, I say she's ready to have kids. So I thought that I'm ready was unnecessary. Just being more economical with words. Shaking the dog awake, he saw milky white orbs. Thought white was pretty unnecessary there. And that is Creed asked. Well, I thought I could just cut Creed asked by just changing the comma there to a question mark. Are you very political? Bill asked Tessa. Right here, Sam says, oh, Dad, don't bark up that tree. So, I mean, you could tell from the context, Creed saying Dad, that it's his dad, Bill, asking this question. So I didn't need that line saying Bill asked Tessa. So I could get rid of it. Okay, this is kind of an amusing one. Right here, Sam and Tessa are up in the hotel and they order room service. He orders some wine and he says, go with the 84. I had always heard that wine is better when it's older. There's the expression aging like fine wine. But I was curious reading this. I saw there the 84 and I was like, well, 1984, would this still even be good then? Because, I mean, that's, you know, it's like 20 years. And I am not sure on this because I am not a wine person, like I said. But apparently, wine does not do better with age. Because wine, it's based on fruit, and fruit is perishable. So wine does go bad. So it's not like the older the wine, the better. So I don't know exactly if that's true or not, but still, I thought it'd be better just to get rid of it. So he just orders some wine. These are little things that drive me crazy. He waved his hands. Well, what else would you wave? The teenager looked at Tessa. Who are you? I thought I could just move that who are you line up there so it's clear that the teenager is the one asking the question. This is actually kind of an inside joke. Here they mention attending Portland State University. After I wrote Keeping Creed, I was reading it and I saw this line about Tessa attending Portland State University. And I thought, oh no, Sean, you idiot. Portland isn't a state, it'd be Oregon State University. But apparently I did my homework because Portland State University is a real school. So I was right, apparently, in choosing that name. So what I do here is I have Rachel, the character, say she doesn't know why they called it Portland. Portland isn't a state. So it's just kind of a little inside joke, kind of poking fun at myself because I nearly made that error myself. He started to protest, but she spoke determinedly. I generally don't like adverbs, so I just got rid of determinedly because it's not necessary. This part is just trying to make it more economical. I'm not staying alone here or with your parents while you run off to Dallas. That's kind of a mouthful, so it's just I'm not staying here while you run off to Dallas. It's a lot more economical. I'm using that word a lot, economical. But anyway, this is talking about a gas station attendant, and then he greeted Creed in broken English. I got rid of that in broken English just because I don't like that phrase, because it just seems kind of bigoted. You know, I could say something like his English wasn't fluent, or, you know, he didn't speak English well, or something like that. But just to say in broken English, that just sounds offensive. And I'm not really one to be easily offended, but I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. So I'm basically eliminating this phrase from my vocabulary. In broken English is just a no-go phrase for me. Sometimes in writing, I notice I just repeat phrases sometimes. So there's this phrase, the attackers knew what they were doing. I used that earlier in the book. The attackers knew what they were doing. And then I have it again right up here on the next page. The attackers knew what they were doing. So I just got rid of it. It's just repetition. Here it is only Creed and Spencer West in the scene. So right here you have Creed talking. So I got rid of asked West because if Creed is saying this dialogue, then it's naturally Spencer West would be saying this dialogue. So I got rid of asked West. And then same thing down here. Here's Creed talking, and then I just have Spencer West talk. There's no need to say asked West. That adds nothing to the story. It'd be one thing if I had West do something here, you know, any kind of action or something to further his character, but just saying asked West does nothing to expand the story. It just reminds readers who's speaking, and they should know who's speaking because it's just Creed and West in the scene. Creed is talking here, so West is talking there. So asked West is gone. This is another thing that bothers me about writers trying to avoid said, is when they do stuff like this, and I make the mistake myself. You've done so well as it is. West snarled. I don't say that anymore. So right now I just changed it to he declared, which, you know, it's better than just saying he snarled. But now what I would do is, if I really wanted to say about him snarling, what I would do is I would say, you've done so well as it is. West said snarling. You don't snarl a sentence. You say a sentence, you may say it snarling. So that's how I would put it. You've done so well as it is. West said snarling. But I didn't need that, so I just said West declared. His expression soured. He reported, sad to say, you missed it. So he reported is just unnecessary there, so I just said his expression soured, and then go on with the dialogue. This page has quite a few getting rid of names. So there's a he, there's a he, there's a him, there's a he, there's a he. I like this scene. Creed is in the office with the vice president, and I don't mention his name in the book, but it's really supposed to be Dick Cheney. But what I have here is, "Gentlemen, thank you for taking the time to come in on a Saturday," said the Vice President, aka Dick Cheney. At his gesture, they sat opposite him. Behind the Vice President, Creed saw a portrait of a lizard. Above it, a Latin phrase, "Populus meus." She grinned from ear to ear. That's just kind of a weird phrase. I mean, who really grins from ear to ear except Joker? So, just got rid of it. This is another change I recently made. "So vulgar, Aswati grinned." Well, you don't grin a sentence, so Aswati said, grinning. These are on back-to-back pages, so I'll just point them out. "He chuckled." That's just kind of a common phrase writers put in books, is just saying he laughed, he chuckled, he sighed, whatever. And it doesn't add anything to the line, it doesn't add anything to the character or story. So I just get rid of it. You don't need it. And also over here, right there again, I say he chuckled. So I don't want to have this idea that the characters are just laughing every sentence. Here we go again. She, he, she. So just trying to get rid of names if I can and just say he and she. I won't even try going through this one, but look at this page. Phew. And then this. And then this. So that chapter got a lot of work done on it. Very messy chapter. There's a she, there's a he, there's a she, there's a he. Just getting rid of names. This is kind of funny. January 28th. No, that's no good. It should be January 25th. No, January 25th is no good. Let's make it January 34th. Oh, no, that's no good. Let's make it 25th. Okay, and that'll be it for a glimpse into my editing process. This is the 4th draft of the book. I usually do 7 drafts, so I'll probably do 2 or 3 more. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye.